Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. How are you doing today? Welcome to the path of peace. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You have been insulted, beaten, starved, and driven out of your own home. For more than 20 years, your enemies have mocked you, spread lies about you, killed some of your closest companions, and even mutilated the body of your beloved uncle. Now imagine that, after all of this, Allah grants you complete victory. You enter the city of those same enemies with power, with strength, with tens of thousands standing by your side. At that moment, you can punish them, you can humiliate them, you can destroy them. But instead, you forgive. You set them free. This is not a fantasy. This is the real story of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, who after decades of persecution, when he finally returned victorious to Mecca, forgave his enemies in a way that still inspires hearts to this very day. Introduction. Today's episode is about one of the most profound qualities of our beloved Prophet Muhammad, his mercy and forgiveness. When people think of victory, they think of conquest, revenge, and dominance. But the Prophet redefined victory by teaching us that the greatest triumph is to conquer the heart, not just the battlefield. This story is not just a historical moment. It is a living lesson. It shows us how mercy brings true peace, how forgiveness brings unity, and how the path of the Prophet is always the path of compassion. Part 1. The Years of Hardship. Before we get to the conquest of Makkah, we need to understand the years that came before it. For over 2 decades, the Prophet faced nothing but hostility from the Quraysh. He was called names like a madman, a sorcerer, a liar. They mocked him when he walked through the streets. Children were told to insult him. They threw dirt and thorns in his path. When he prayed at the Kaaba, they placed camel intestines on his back. He remained in sujud, refusing to lift his head until his daughter Fatima, may Allah be pleased with her, came and removed it. The Quraysh tortured his companions. Bilal ibn Rabah, may Allah be pleased with him, was dragged on the hot sands with stones on his chest, but he continued to say, Ahad, Ahad, one, one. Sumayya, may Allah be pleased with her, became the first martyr in Islam when she was killed for refusing to renounce her faith. The Prophet and his followers faced economic and social boycott, forced into the valley of Shib Abi Talib, where they starved for 3 years. The sound of crying children echoed through the valley because they had nothing to eat except leaves and dry skins. Later, they forced him to leave his beloved Makkah, the city of his birth, the home of the Kaaba, the land of Ibrahim, peace and blessings be upon him. And still, even after he left for Medina, the Quraysh pursued him. They fought him in Badr, Uhud, and Khandak. They plotted to kill him in his own bed. They spread lies throughout Arabia to turn tribes against him. Now imagine, after all of this, Allah finally gives you the upper hand. Part 2. The Conquest of Makkah. In the 8th year after Hijrah, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah was broken by the Quraysh and their allies. The Prophet prepared an army of 10,000 Muslims and set out towards Makkah. When the Quraysh saw the Muslims surrounding their city, they were filled with fear. Abu Sufyan, once one of the greatest enemies of Islam, was brought before the Prophet. He expected harsh treatment, but the Prophet declared, "Whoever enters the house of Abu Sufyan is safe. Whoever remains in his home is safe. Whoever enters the Kaaba is safe." Ibn Hisham, Sirah. The people of Makkah realized this was no ordinary conqueror. The Prophet entered Makkah with his head bowed low, riding his camel, reciting praises of Allah. Despite being victorious, he showed the humility of a servant of Allah, not the pride of a king. He went straight to the Kaaba, where 360 idols stood. With a stick in his blessed hand, he struck them down one by one while reciting, "Truth has come and falsehood has vanished. Indeed, falsehood is bound to vanish." Quran 17-81. The idols fell. Tawheed rose. The Kaaba was purified. Part 3. The Declaration of Forgiveness. The people of Quraysh were gathered near the Kaaba. They were silent, trembling, awaiting their fate. These were the same people who had mocked him, tortured his followers, and forced him into exile. According to the custom of the time, they expected death, slavery, or humiliation. The Prophet asked them, "O people of Quraysh, what do you think I will do to you today?" They replied, "You are a noble brother, the son of a noble brother. We expect only goodness from you." The Prophet then said words that would echo through time. "Idhabu fa'antum et tulaka, go, for you are free." Ibn Hisham Sirah. With one sentence he erased decades of hatred. With one act of mercy he transformed enemies into allies. Part 4. Forgiveness of specific enemies. Abu Sufyan ibn Harb. He had fought Islam for years. Yet the Prophet forgave him and even honored his house as a place of safety. Hind bint Utbah. She had mutilated the body of Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, may Allah be pleased with him, at Uhud. When she later came to accept Islam, the Prophet accepted her pledge without reminding her of the past. Ikrimah ibn Abi Jahl, the son of Abu Jahl, the pharaoh of this ummah. Ikrimah fled, fearing punishment. But when he later returned to accept Islam, the Prophet welcomed him with open arms. Other moments of forgiveness in his life. The conquest of Makkah was not the only time he forgave. At Taif, when the people mocked him, stoned him, and made his feet bleed, the angel Jibril offered to crush them between mountains. The Prophet refused, saying, "I hope that Allah will bring forth from their descendants those who will worship Allah alone." Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. At Uhud, when his face was bleeding and his tooth broken, he raised his hands and said, "O Allah, forgive my people, for they do not know." Musnad Ahmad. The Bedouin incident. Once a Bedouin grabbed the Prophet's cloak so harshly that it left a mark on his neck, demanding wealth. The Prophet simply smiled and gave him something. Sahih Bukhari, Part 5, Lessons for Us. Forgiveness is power. True victory is not crushing your enemy, but forgiving them. Mercy transforms hearts. Many who were forgiven later became champions of Islam. Seek Allah's forgiveness by forgiving others. Let them pardon and overlook. Would you not love that Allah should forgive you? Quran 24-22. Control of anger is strength. The Prophet said, "The strong man is not the one who overcomes others in wrestling, but the one who controls himself while in anger." Sahih Bukhari. Follow his example in daily life. Whether with family, friends, or strangers, mercy should be our way. The conquest of Makkah was not a victory of swords, but a victory of hearts. It showed that Islam is not about revenge, but about mercy and justice. Prophet Muhammad proved that the greatest power is the power to forgive. Dear brothers and sisters, let us ask ourselves, can we forgive those who wrong us? Can we choose mercy over anger? If our beloved Prophet forgave those who harmed him so deeply, then surely we can forgive those who hurt us in smaller ways. May Allah grant us hearts filled with mercy, tongues that speak forgiveness, and lives that reflect the sunnah of our beloved Prophet. Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with more Islamic content. Like, share, and comment to support our work and spread the message.